The vast majority of people who call themselves Christian, I don't believe are. We got a legislature full of them. I'm a conservative Christian, but the abortion bill on my killing committee, click, and then I'm a conservative. But we don't need to rush this. We need to make some deals, because I don't know, the big book I have doesn't say go make deals and work with the world. It tells me to eschew the world, fight the world, and battle the world. So when I walk up and I say, hey, can we get this thing done? And they're like, yes, I'm a Christian, I go to church and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, great, then let's do this thing. You don't understand, when I hear the phrase, it's complicated, I'm like, don't waste my time. I'm not gonna waste yours, just tell me you're not gonna do it. Well, it's complicated, see you later, bye. Because what that means to me is I want to work the system so I don't hang my neck out there. And that's not what Christ told us to do. He said, hang your neck. Oh, what happened to 11 of the 12 apostles? Anybody know? Oh, they all they retired and had a really nice, no? Oh, yeah, got their heads cut off, they got set on fire, they got crucified. Yeah, that's pretty much what, and when our legislature, especially the ones who call themselves Christians and they ride that pony into the town and look at me, and they don't stand up for these bills. We've got them all over the place, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but I've got a whole bunch of shirts at home I had made that said anybody but Abbott, and I live in a very rural town, a very small rural town. I'd wear them every day before the primaries, and they thought I was a liberal. And they'd come up and they'd be like, how dare you, da-da-da. I mean, I live in the boonies, Red River County. The town I live in is 3,600 people. And they would, whoa, hold on. And I would talk to them for like 5 minutes. They'd be like, are you serious? They didn't know any of the stuff, because campaigns are nothing but media, snapshots. Look, we're going to bus all the immigrants to Washington, D.C. if they voluntarily want to ride. And that's a whole separate issue. I'm not even talking, but it's that media BS. And that's why people hear the little soundbite. But they don't go look and say, oh, you support ending abortion, but you killed that bill how many times on your committee? And nobody calls them out. And we've got people in charge of committees and in charge of bodies who kill this stuff, yet call themselves Christians. And we as a group aren't calling them out. We're like, maybe it'll get better next year. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question around vaccines with kids and divorce.
We have no idea what they do. They've not been
them.
Researched long enough.
Well, I'm just saying more from like a judge perspective. Like if the dad is like all for it, the mom doesn't want to.
Judge can do whatever they want.
Right. I mean, is that...
So if your judge believes in getting vaccinated, your kid will get vaccinated. Whichever parent chose to vaccinate the kid will get custody.
Will get custody? What?
We'll have primary custody and decision-making powers when it comes to medical, school, education, religion, and all that.
So if the mom believes that the kid should not be vaccinated,
then the dad might have a fighting chance if the judge is.
Right.
It is literally that capricious. Yeah. Because you can say Truxell v. Granville in the Supreme Court of the United States clearly states X, Y, and Z, and the judge will go, yeah, whatever, I'm going to do this.
Same as transgender, right?
Oh yeah. So say it's illegal in Texas, and y'all are fighting over little Bobby wanting to be Betty, whatever it is, and who wants to volunteer to be the bad guy? Okay, so you want to turn Bobby into Betty, and you're like, absolutely not. I'm going to go. We're going to do this, and I happen to be the judge here. Say, I don't know, Travis County. My name starts with an A, and I have 4 letters in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, you know what, you're denying medical care. It's illegal in Texas, but Mom, I give you primary decision making, and you have permission to go out. You get to go outside of the county range. It's listed on our decree, and you can actually go out of state and have whatever you need done. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can file all the challenges you want. A federal court will not take it up. The SCJC simply won't do anything, and the appellate court will kick you a letter that says rejected without explaining why.
How did we get here?
It's the same with the vaccine.
Very careful.
By, I don't know, and this is just my uneducated, what do you call half empty, not half full opinion. We got here, so I believe when they did that whole Constitution and all that stuff, they said we need to keep attorneys out of this mess. We need to keep them as far away as possible. Who are the vast majority of our legislators? And who do they know? And who do they come up? They've essentially written themselves into a job and then written to protect themselves. The only people who argue that immunity is necessary are the ones who have it.
Yep.
And when they do make that argument, if you break it down in front of them, their response is, it's complicated. Because they cannot justify it. Nobody needs the right to violate my constitutional rights and civil liberties, or yours. but they haven't. Yes, ma'am.
So, just coming to this meeting months on end, it's so corrupt, it's so beyond comprehension. What can we the people do at this stage when we've got no representation, we've got no laws? I mean, it's ridiculous. And if you have any suggestions, I mean, you sound like you're in deep with it, but do you know?
I'm in deep something, I don't know. You know, the way I'm going at it, and some of these other parents and some of these other coalitions, I actually did an interview with the lady here in Travis County who's running for Senate District 10. She's a Democrat.
Nuno.
Yes. But I figured Travis County Democrat's going to win anyway, and I don't think is anybody running against her? But I'm like, on this issue, we agree, because if you go to her page, it's like destroy CPS, destroy DFPS, destroy the family courts, because I'm not going to out her, she has a personal history from when she was young, and she still has the scars from that. And she's like, I want this. And I said, fine. And so I did an interview with her, and then she said, can you talk? I said, go there, I'm going to embarrass you. But on this issue, I will support you, and I will give you all the ammunition you need. Because if you're willing to burn it down, in this case, but am I going to go on this other stuff where I completely disagree with you and I think it's ungodly? No, but here I will support you. But what we're doing, we're meeting with our legislators. Hey, if you want to get a meeting with your legislator and bring me, call me. And if I can be here, I'll come in, because they'll meet with you, but not me. But once you get in the room, say, I just want him to talk. That's what happens here. I didn't, people are like, wind up, let him go. And then you can simply, but that's it. What are we doing about the judicial immunity? And if you're a precinct chair, I'll send you my resolutions if you want to know what to look for. I will send them to you all day long. But they address all of these issues, and I, because I'm sneaky, I tucked immunity into almost every single one of them. So even if we can get a few of them through, there's going to be an immunity issue in every single one of them. But we also know what happens there. We also know that in certain large areas, say, Collin County, we have family law firms who are taking their attorneys and they're putting them up for precinct chair positions so they can control what resolutions go through. Because we've been doing this for a couple of years and they see us coming, and we've started to get some traction, and actually some people are talking about stuff, and there's some other people are going, what's going on, and some people's so they're actually putting their attorneys in places to try to kill the resolution process. But that's it. Call them up, say, hey, what's going on? I want to know what you're going to do about judicial immunity, and I want to know this and this and this. I want to come talk to you. I'm going to go. Whatever. Like, I'm here. I live 6 hours away. But I'm here because you'll listen to me. Yes. And next Monday, I'm in Beaumont doing the same thing for y'all. And I'll probably get, and that's more. But because people will listen to me. And at the end of the month, I'm supposed to be back here, Texas Federation of Republican Women, that's something like that, because they'll listen to me. I don't know the groups, but the people I do know the groups, and if they say yes, if you can get your butt there and get them, then I do. So that's what I do. I don't know anything about the political process other than it turns my stomach and I want to do stuff to people. But that's it. I'm the guy that I'm going to come up and say, okay, now you cannot say you didn't know. County State Rep, and he sat on the Committee of Oversight for DFPS. And then I said, hey, and I started talking for less than 5 minutes. I told you it was like drinking out of a fire hydrant. And I talked to him for less than 5 minutes, and he was a deer in headlights. He had no clue what I was talking about. And I said, you sat on it? He said, yeah, I was on the committee for years. And I'm like, but you don't know any of this stuff I just said. And he's like, I said, where did you get your information? And he told me literally from DFPS.
Yeah.
They told us how good they're doing and what they needed. And I'm like, how is that oversight?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I just want to mention the fact when you were saying to go to the legislature, this is kind of our frustration, is that like Dr. David Martin sent all of he had like the full complaint and gave it to the Attorney General. What was it, June, July? I mean,
Yeah,
literally like spring last year, and he sat on it. He hasn't done anything. Nobody's doing anything. It doesn't help much to go to the legislature.
Yeah, no, we name and shame, Judge A with 4 letters in his name. I'm keeping a list of people I've talked to. There's a guy named Jeff Younger. I don't know if you know who he is. We know him personally. We're doing everything to get. He told us if he gets elected, I can come live in the Capitol. I'll be walking. No, it's literally walking up and down the hallway in my bathrobe with a toothbrush in my mouth, going, "Hey, you and me, because you keep dodging me. You know, we will live out of his office. You know, I'm sure they'll pass some resolution to have us arrested at some point. But no, I mean that's the thing. You know, we're going at every angle. We suck at conservatives suck at social media. Liberals are awesome at it. They're also awesome at redefining words and sound bites. But we're not good about getting our message out.
That's because we're censored.
Well, and I don't know anything about social media, but all I know to do is show up and talk to people.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the thing, is to put pressures on these people. You know, we've got Stephanie Click who's in a runoff, and they keep saying, "Oh, I'm this and I'm that." Well, let's look at your record and what committee you sat on and how many times that bill died. And so people need to get up and start saying these things louder. And you know, most Christians are so timid. You know, so there's wolves, sheep, and sheepdogs. Everybody know that thing,
Yep.
right? So we've got the wolves, and a lot of Christians are under this idea that we're supposed to be sheep. Turn the other cheek. Well, that's not what he meant. We are told to put on the armor of God, not the bathrobe of God, unless I'm in the Capitol.
Yes.
He said, go out to battle. We're supposed to battle this stuff, and a lot of us are like, I'll pray for you. You know what? If there's a kid sitting over there and he's starving, I have a sandwich in my pocket, I'm not going to pray for him. I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to do something. Then I'm going to pray for him and take him home and find him a place to live. But a lot of us are like, well, they'll think bad. You know what? They already hate our guts. Who cares? And you know what? You might, in that process, have someone go, I never thought about it that way. You might actually bring someone to God by breaking down the BS that they believe. But do it in a loving, gentle way, not my way. But that's what I do, and she wants me to go, so I'm going to go out of the way.
You get a body language interpretation.
Yeah, it's that whole psychology
They're going
thing.
to kick us out at 9. But if you want to send me your resolutions, then I can send them out, because I think there's a lot of people going to state convention in the room.
Yeah, I'll send them to you. So we've had multiple precinct and county, mine was all in one, where we've gotten all of them through, and others where we've gotten some of them through. So yeah, I'll send them to you, and like I said, I have a card somewhere. If you need anything from me, ask, and if I can do it, I will do it. And this has everything to do with my talk, but my specialization is also working with families who have severely damaged children, post-adopt foster care, 4-year-olds that burn the house down, stab the parents while they're sleeping, because those are the families I work with and show them how to fix the damage in that child's brain so they don't end up in a cemetery or in a strip club. And that's what I've been doing all over Texas with nonprofits until Texas pulled all the money after they lost the foster care lawsuit. Because now we don't do any intervention with our children in foster and adoptive care anymore, because they want to get through this lawsuit before they spend any money. Because what? Kids don't vote, screw them. So anyway, I'm just throwing that out there. That's kind of a whole aside thing.
Thank you.
Family law is one of those most corrupt. Family law is one of those most corrupt. Family law is one of those most corrupt.